Hi, we're here today with Morgan. She's going to be my model today. And look at this cute face, and great hair. This is a nice thick head full of hair. And Morgan's naturally a brunette. She wanted to go blonder, and she's put something on here that's lifted it just a shade or two. So we got a good start here. But what we really want to do is make her super blonde. I want to make a blonde on blonde statement. So what that means is I'm going to do lots of blonde weaving, lots of foils in here, some really blonde, pale blonde pieces, and then the hair in between the foils, I'm going to put a shade lighter, like the 9N or the 10N. That way, the hair that's not in the foil will get some lift also. But it won't be solid, not like bleached and toned hair, but it'll have lots of blonde in here. And I'm doing that because I think it's going to be great light on her. She's ready to go blonde, and especially with the way I'm going to cut it, what I really want to do on her haircut is take all this back off here. She's already got this little bit of this asymmetric shape going on, which is really nice. You can see the texture of this hair. It's just super thick, but looking at her from the side, here she's got this great profile, and the hair is just too droopy. We want to bring this up and make this hair cut a little more edgy and a little more modern. I just want you to get a good look at what this looks like before, because what little bit I'm taking off is going to make a major difference. Now, what I want to do first, since I know we're going to make her blonder, and I know where the blonde's going at, I want to make her super blonde, really heady around the face. So I gotta find that natural fall. You can see how it falls. This is her natural part. So I'll keep that in mind when I'm putting her blonde in. But what I want to do first is I'm going to start at the back. And I've got 20 volume with the blue lightener. So I'm going to do lots of slices. If I weave this hair, it really won't show up as much, and I want it to be very bold and make a dramatic change. So I'm going to slice these weave sections just because I want them to show up. You see how thick this hair is. I think if they're too skinny, they don't show up. Now I know I'm going to cut this neckline in closer, and I know that occipital bone, I won't go any higher than that with the highlights. So I know I'm going to start those highlights right at the round of her head here, because all of this is going to be cut in close. So knowing that, this is going to be my first section. Let's get this out of the way. Morgan is probably a medium brown with some warmth in it, and trying to bleach this brunette, you get the brassy tones, but yours actually lifted really pretty good for just a box color. So, and it's very healthy. So this isn't going to be hard on your hair at all. I've got two sections carved out here for the back. So this is where I'll start. I've got my lightener mixed up. I've got my foils. Tilt your head slightly down here, and you can see right here is the round of head. All of this is going to come off. So we want this. This area I will weave a thick weave, not a slice, just because this is the neckline. That's the shortest part of her hair, and I want this to look blended. I don't want this to look splotchy or too solid on the underneath, because we want lots of blonde on the underneath. I just love using this knife to apply my color. I feel like I have more control. You use less color when you use this. You don't oversaturate it, and it just is quick for me. So that's just a tool I like to use. It's just a plain old plastic knife that you get really anywhere. So now I'm going to this side and putting a foil on this side in this section. And I'll work my way up just like this to the crown. My next section will be longer, so I'll start slicing there. This first two sections here, I just did a thick weave, so it's not so solid right here in this first section. We want a nice graduation. We want to see the blondest around the face and then graduate to not as blonde. That top layer is going to be nice and bold. Now I've got this section here, and see how thick this hair is. She's got just massive hair. So it's like if you do too big a section, the highlight will get lost in it. I want to weave that section too, just because, like I said, we want our blondest hair is in that front. We want to make that front dramatic, like the front of her haircut. I am going to use the sharp tooth on Morgan's hair, because this texture hair just loves it. She's got this nice medium texture. It's just a slight wave to it, so she's got some natural body, but the texture looks smooth. It doesn't look frizzy or fuzzy texture in the hair, so her hair will love this, and especially the way that I want to cut this hair, I want to leave it very jagged and messy, not a solid blunt bob. It would look too heavy on her with her thick hair, so we want to have lots of movement and lots of tousled, piecey layers. So the razor, our sharp tooth razor, is ideal for that. You can see how I'm lifting. I've got my hand underneath that foil, so as I push that color on, I've got my hand underneath to really stabilize that foil, fold it up in there, and it will work great. Now, still working in the crown. This section here, we're getting a little longer, so I'm going to do a thicker slice here. We're going to do bigger pieces, not weaving or bouncing that hair, so I got a nice thick slice. It's really important in this hair because it's, like I said, if it's not enough blonde, it just gets lost and it doesn't show up. So we want some definitive streaks in here that really will help play up the haircut. And this is a thick section, so make sure you saturate that with just pushing the color into that hair section so we know it's nicely saturated. Really important that it lift evenly. Working our way here, working my way right up her head here to the crown. Once I get the crown in, then I will do the sides, and then the very top will be the last section. And while this highlighting is processing, I will paint her base color in between each foil and get that 9N, it's 9 neutral blonde. It will really lift the roots just a shade or two. So soaking these ends really good, because you see she always had a little more lift at the root than she did on the ends, and it's just that body heat, you get a little more lift on that virgin hair at the scalp. So saturating these ends and getting a little more blonde toward the end will even out that color. We want the ends blonder, not the roots. Now I can let you down a little bit more because you're so tall. Now. And this will be easy maintenance. She would do the same thing next time. Even her next visit in 4 to 6 weeks, she may just want to touch up the roots and leave the ends out because the ends will have faded and kept a nice blonde to it. So this will be low maintenance. You can do a little touch up on the new growth with just a level 9 or a level 8 just to lift that and keep all your ends out so you stay nice and blonde. Really brushing that on well. Folding that up in there, and now we are going here, and we are getting it in, moving right along here. This makes such a difference in the hair. It will really show the haircut off too. When you cut it with the razor, it just gives that really jagged, piecey edge, and it gives you texture without a lot of work using products or flat irons, or the tool just really texturizes as it cuts, so you actually cut a shape into the hair and give it texture at the same time. So the tool is so easy to use, and it's just for that stylist that likes to be creative and likes to do and try different tools. I mean, you can get the same effect with a different type of razor. I mean, it's just in all how you use it and what you want to have fun with. So that's what it's about, being creative. Coming to the end here on this crown, I will get a few more in the crown, then I'll start on this side. And the same thing I'll do right in front of the ear. I'll slice that hair into the foil and work my way up both sides, and then save the crown for last, that last section on the very top where her part falls. Now, turn your back a little bit, come in longer, because I think I can get one more right here before I go to the side. Still slicing. Look at that. See how thick this hair is? But it'll be fabulous on Morgan. And the easiest way to get this brown out and get her going to the blonde direction. So, it looks as if her hair was probably texturized or razored before, because you have lots of texture and lots of razored ends here. And it could have been just someone thinning her hair, because it's a head full. Morgan, one more. Right here. Then we'll do these sides, because this is just massive hair right here. And this will lift so evenly. You must have had a few highlights in your hair before, Morgan, before you put this color all over.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can see some older faded ends that were probably old highlights, or they're just grown out. Because even cutting with a razor, I mean, we use it on all textures of hair. You know, baby fawn, curly hair, and it's all in how you use the tool. I think if you cut it too short, or if you try to texturize or thin the hair with it, you get into those problems where the hair looks broken, split. So it's just in all how you use this tool. Now, you can see here's her natural fall where Morgan's hair wants to part out, and we like that. So we're going to keep that in mind as I foil it and as I cut it. So I don't want her limited to parting it one way, but I think when you have it cut with this razor, her hair will fall naturally and a nice fall and won't give her a hard time. And two, if you have any little natural wave or line to the hair, the razor does encourage that. I think it brings it out. So you see so many of these bob shapes that are layered, and then they have just that bend or that kick to it that just gives it that messiness. So that's what that razor does too. It makes those ends lightweight so you don't have heavy ends. See, I'm going on a diagonal right here, slicing. You can see how much lighter Morgan is right here around her face, and that's normal. So here we are. I'm still slicing this, and I'm going on an angle because that's the way her hair falls. I'm going in the direction that it grows, how it falls naturally, so you don't see an obvious line where that foil is put in. So it just helps to blend that growth when it comes in.
Oh man.
Long hair.
No, actually, no one. I think I was right after I came back from Spain.
And I'm using all nutrient hair color. This lightener here, blue lightener, keeps keeps out brassy tones and keeps the blonde nice and cool. So I really use this a lot, and it's very gentle on the hair. It leaves the hair fluffy and shiny, so it really is good for the hair. Now I'm going right up here. You can see I've got one foil left here, and then her part. So that I'm saving. I'm going to stop on this side right here at the round top of her head. Then I'll do the other side, same thing.
Oh, happy birthday. Thank you too.
And as this is processing, this is lifting, I'll put her other color on in between these foils. Everything else will be covered, and it'll all process together. And it's this, I don't think I'll put her under the heat. I will check her before I do put the base color on. If it looks as if it needs a little heat, I'll give her 5 minutes of heat before I put that base color on. Because that does help. And see, this will be my last section for the top. So let's get this side done. We're doing good. This is only taking me 13 minutes here. So this can move fast. When you have a plan, you know what to do, then you get moving and do it. There's no guessing. And you both understand each other, because that's very important. Morgan was ready to cut her hair very short, and it would look fabulous. And you've had your hair short before, haven't you? So, but even like you'll enjoy this haircut, and if you're ready next time, we can go even shorter. So I can cut you again. Wonderful hair. Let's take that out.
Your hair still looks good. What are you here for?
Well,
This is
just,
for Ben's cut.
yeah, I've got to be going.
That's a little thick. That's right in front of the ear, so let's make that a little so heavy there, because this is
Yeah.
the thick side.
It's getting hot.
Coming to the end. Opening that up, working my way up, still kind of on a diagonal here, so I just think it has a better fall when that hair grows out. Actually, slice that, because that is going to be blonde. This will be interesting how this lifts, because she's already got this head start here with this base color she put on, so it will really lift evenly.
Leaving it hard.
I think even with Morgan's skin, she's got great skin and great eyes. She'll make a great blonde. Now, this is the last one on this side.
Like two.
Two. So we're leaving all this, like I like this asymmetric feel on your hair, but it really will do well with some layering. Now, last one there. On that side, we've got everything done except for this last row. Now, goes to this side. So I'm going to put those foils in on a diagonal that way because that's her natural fall. So let's grab this all together. This will be our last one. Tilt your way down for me more than that. Oh, perfect right here. Now,
I know.
I'm going to go right here at the hairline and weave in the blonde here. Still slicing these pieces because we want this nice and blonde in the front. Yes. Yes, you see those ends are dark too, so we're going to work those in also. Moving right along here.
My dad uses that.
Not leaving much hair in between. Oh, you know, about almost the same amount that I'm putting in the foil is in between the foil. So that's a nice balance that lets you know how much blonde. She's going to have more blonde than brown in here. And that's what we want.
Football game is on the next day.
Working right along here. Once I get this last row in here, I'll see what this back is doing. There's first foils I'll put in. I'll see how they're looking. And if they're looking good, no heat on her. I'll go ahead and apply her base color. And that can process for 30 minutes. So that will be extra time on the foils, but with no heat, her hair will be nice and healthy. See how nice and thick these sections are? There's a lot of hair in this foil, so make sure you saturate it really good because you want it to lift evenly.
Right now it's the best you're going to feel all
Right along, got a couple more. Now I'm at 17 minutes, so this actually does move quickly when you've got a plan. I see a few kind of strange colors in here.
Yeah.
I see a little pink, a little green, a little brown. We're going to bleach it all out. We're going to make it blonde. All right. A few more here, Morgan. And then we're going to cut this hair too. Now, our shark tooth razors, you know, they were invented about 12 years ago, and it's the most wonderful razor. It's a cutting tool that really is like no other tool out there. And what makes our cutting tool special is it's just such an ergonomically designed tool that's easy if you have carpal tunnel or if you struggle with arthritis or anything. Any of these women have been out there cutting hair for years. You know what I mean when you have the aches and pains in your hands. But this tool is ideal for all of these looks you see right now. All of this texture and all of these piecey, jagged layers, all of this very layered hair has that look of having just that undone beach look where it's just not fixed. So a lot of hair, you know, does that naturally, and a lot of hair doesn't. So what I find with the razor is it just is so easy to use and to achieve that effect. It's so much easier. I could do it with scissors. I could do it with another razor, but if you could do something in 10 minutes, why do it in 10 minutes? Why do it in 30 minutes if you can do it in 10 minutes? So you'll see how quickly I cut Morgan's hair with this razor. It'll literally be 1, 2, 3 cuts. 3 cuts per haircut will have a shape to it. And after the 3 major cuts I make, I'll dry it, flat iron it, and then tweak it some more. Then you almost adjust it to the head. You cut the pattern in there with the razor or with the hair cutting techniques we use, and then you tweak that and adjust it just for that client. So you'll see what I mean when I finish the hair dry and do a little more cutting. Last one, I forgot to weave it. There we go. We're going to slice that one. Now, last one here, Morgan. And I can't scrape any more with the knife, so I'm going to use the brush. Not cooperating. Now, I'm going to stop right now. I've got her foils all in. And what I'm going to do now is mix up 10N with 20 volume. And I'll apply that on all of these sections that are left out. I'll start at the root, work it through to the end. Put it on the root, work it out. We'll cover all of this brassiness out and actually lift it just a shade lighter because it's not far from it now. So let's get her situated here. I'm going to peek in this back and see what it looks like. Hold your head up for me more than that.
Just take it.
Lifting quickly. Let's clip these up, and I'm going to peek at this underneath and see what this very neckline is doing where I first put them in. And it looks very good. The hair's lifting very easy. No heat on Morgan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break, and when you come back, you'll see her color done and shampooed, and she'll be ready for a haircut. You'll get to see that. I'm back here with Morgan, and you can see we've got her color done. She's nice and blonde, and I just want to comb this in her natural fall so you can see the length on these sides and see where this hair falls naturally. And when you see the back of this hair, this is where Morgan's hair is going to come in shorter. I'm going to bring this in really close on the neck and still have this kind of asymmetric feel. I love this longer side with this slightly shorter, but once we determine the length, then I'll go with my sharp tooth and I'll layer these in so it's not so blunt. But what I want to do first is I'm going to remove some weight quickly and easily. And the way I like to do that is I pull all of this back into a ponytail. And I know that I'm going to graduate this neckline. She's going to have layering right here below this roundness of her head. So that's what I want to cut off when I brush this back. It'll remove that hair quickly, and it'll get it evenly, and it just puts it right where I want that weight line at. And like I said, I could section this off and cut section by section, but look how thick this hair is. I could do it so much quicker. I know what my plan is. I know what I want to achieve, so it's all how to get there the easiest and the quickest way for me. So I've converged everything into a ponytail, and I've got the ponytail right below the round of her head here, right at her occipital. Now we know this side was shorter, so I'm going to I could cut the ponytail in the middle, but I want to bring it slightly to the side because I'm going to leave her going from short to long. It won't be extreme, but it'll be subtle. So once you bring everything to a ponytail, I've got my huge shears I like here with these big blades that can cut it in one nice even cut. So I've got everything converged. I'm trying to turn this so you can see me well here. Actually, oh, that's good. No, tilt your head down a little bit here. So now I'm going to converge this. I got my ponytail combed in. Bring this into, converge that together. I'm going to take it off. It's just that big hunk of hair with these shears. Look how nice and even it cuts through quickly and evenly. So now when you comb this hair down, you can see there's some graduation building up right there. And that's what we want. We want to have that go from shorter to longer, but yet I know when I cut this front, we're going to layer that slightly, but I'll go back with my sharp tooth razor and clean up that neckline and make that neckline really hug her skin good, where this just lays down real nice. But already you can see what that does by taking that hunk of hair off the back where it was just bulky at. Now that I've combed that down, you can see where that little weight line's at. But what I want to do to the front now is pull everything to the front and cut it and determine the length here in the front, because we want to keep this length long, but it's got to have some layering in it. So we want some movement in it. So now I'm going to pull everything to the front, and it's just easier to do this way because I know I've got all the hair when I do it like this. So now the neckline is going to fall out. So I do it this way here. Now, all of this hair is going to fall out. So that's okay, because what we're mainly cutting on is the front. Bringing everything up and over keeps all the length, And what this is doing is this is going to determine her hanging length. I'm going to converge this. I'm going to take this little point off here because this will create some layering, a hanging length in the front. Now, what that did is when you see this pulled down, created a little shorter layering just around the face, kind of as a guide for me. See where that really took that and gave that a little fringier edge? Just took that one length off of there and created a little longer bang. A shorter bang, I'm sorry. It goes from shorter to longer. Now, that is the length. I've determined her length. I'm not touching the length anymore. Now what I'll do is I'll use my sharp tooth to clean up the layering, add the layering, and do the texturizing. So here we go. Already you can see where that just took the weight out where it needed it at. She had the bulky ends and the one length top. So now it's just going to have a better shape. And you see how thick the hair is. What I want to do first is I'm going to take this neckline off. You can see after pulling that back and cutting it in one section, it left me a weight line here. And look how nice and even this weight line is because it was all converged at once. When you pull this hair down, you'll see it's a little more obvious because the top's blonder. And you can almost see when I comb this straight down where the hair is swinging to the right slightly. Just slightly longer here because this is her longer side. So now we're going to do the sharp tooth on the neckline. Now I'm going to start right here. Should you wait forward? Because this is the part that's going to look great cut in short. I pick this up. You can pick this up with the tip of the razor and take it off because we've got this shortness there. We know that's our length we want. So this is what's going to come off is the bottom. And this hair is so nice because it kind of hugs her neck. Her hair lays nicely on the neck. I'm not touching the weight line yet. I'm taking and blending all of this so this looks soft. See if this was sharper. Yes. And it's really just going on the skin. You can see where that weight line was built up, and I don't want to go into that yet. I'm still picking this up and taking this off the edges because we want this to look soft, not squared off. I mean, that's another look, but we don't want to show that look. We want to look feminine and soft. See how that blade just takes that hair off where you want it at. I'm picking this little pieces up with my tail of my razor just because that's what it's designed for. You can see the nice curve in this, how easy it is to hold. It just really kind of forms to your hand when you use it. So, and I'm left-handed, so everything has been awkward for me. There's not a lot of left-handed techniques out there or tools. So this is really for left or right-handed people. It doesn't matter. It's just all in how you use it. See, I'm kind of picking up. You need to put this right on the skin and take this off. It won't cut you. There's no guard on there, but one side does take out more and one side takes out less. So just depending on how thick that hair is and what you want to achieve, you can do it with this. Now, right here, there's a little spot here. When you separate that out, this little spot is very thick. You don't want that there. Oops. I'm going to chew that off a little bit. It's just a fun way to cut hair. It's just different. And its tools are always, this is how you really get creative, is using different things and trying different techniques, trying different tools. It's very easy to stay in one way and cut hair one way. It's not very exciting or fun. So change is good. Try to change. Just little baby steps. Now I'm going to, because this is so short, I couldn't really grab it with the razor, so I have to take my shears and take a little more off of the shears. But I'm going to finish. See, now that really got it closer. That's what we wanted. Now, you see I've got this bulky weight line that I'm going to use my razor on. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that with the razor, and it comes out great. And it's still converging that hair all at once and taking it off the top. Now, pretty neckline. Already the hair swinging forward is great. Now, this is what we're going to do to remove some of this weight on the top. We're going to do this because it's just quick and easy and it's just foolproof. So now, I'm going to converge. I cut it in the front, I cut it in the back, now I'm going to cut it in the crown. And this will be my guide for all of the layering with my razor. So I know this is our shorter side is to the right. So we will keep in mind I'm pulling this ponytail back to the crown to the right. Because we want to go from short to long. So we're going to cut on the shorter side, and when we drop this, you'll see the layering will go short to long too. Now I've got this all converged. That's what I'm going to take off right there. With my big shears again. Look how easy that is to take it all off at once. Now, when this hair drops, it just created layering shorter in the crown and longer to the front. Now, I've got a pattern for my shark tooth. I'll go back through with my shark tooth and do my texturizing. Already you can see that the ends are so heavy and they look to have that little choppy, ragged edge, especially what I just did for the top. Now, I'm liking the front here. All of this is looking really cute. What I want to work on now is this neckline and the layering. So I'm coming it down in that natural fall. Now, that's our natural fall. And what's nice about this shape that makes it modern is it's flat here, not bulky here. You've got your volume through the top where it's ideal. Now, I've got it combed in a natural fall. This is where I cut that piece in the crown. So that's where I'm going to start at, because I know I want to go a little shorter back here and leave the length in the front. So let's make a little guide here that we started with the razor. Let's check it out right here in the crown, because this is where I'm going to work from this point all the way around the head. So let's take this up. I want that shorter, so I converge it and take it off with the razor. See, look at that nice little ragged edge that it gives. I'm going to carve another piece behind that. Go with that. Let's check this out. See, there was a little off there. I'm creating a guide for the whole entire head. Now, okay. Shortness falling to that side, falling to this side. I'm going to section this off because this will be the back I'm working on. I just made a guide for the back and the front. Let's do the back first. So I'm going to twirl this away so you can see a little bit better. So I've got my cut piece falling there. I've got it on this side. So I'm going to go right where I started at, and I'm going to go vertical. We're going to lift this out. Oh, look. See how blunt that is from the shear? Take this, texturize that edge, and then you've got a nice ragged edge. See that little point? You can come in with your razor and take that off. This is what's fun about you don't want to cut like you do with shears, because this isn't shears in your hand. You're going to find you have a little more freedom of picking up hair. I'm still following a pattern. I'm following a form and a shape, but I'm cutting the shape in there with the razor instead of just texturizing it to nothing. You can over texturize where you just texturize the shape right out of there and you look like you've got wispy, ragged ends. So we don't want that. Now, working my way, see I'm kind of working my way right around, bringing that hair back to the corner and back to the crown where I started at. So that will leave her slightly asymmetric. Going with the razor, taking that off. Look at that nice fringy edge. You can kind of follow that down because I'll go back over this weight line too. This is massive hair. You can see how thick this hair is. And it really is going to respond so nice to this razor. See, I'm working my way down. I tucked the shape in there when I removed that ponytail on the top. It created a short to long layering. Now I'm just going through that layering and removing the weight on the ends so the ends will look fringier. Now I've come to the top here, back to the crown. You can see that was the hair that I cut. And I want to go in and texturize and take off the layers. See, we'll come to this and we'll run out. Slightly bit of hair there to blend. Let's check it on this side. I think I had just a little on this side. Because when you lift this up and take this off, I still got to go back over this neckline. Just pull this away here so you can see what I'm doing right here on the thickest part of her hair. Let's bring that up. We'll take it off up higher. Then you comb it down lower and check it on the weight line. There's still a lot of texturizing I got to do on that neckline, but I'm going to come back to that as I finish. See, when you just take and shave on those ends, it just tapers them so nicely. Now, working my way up to the front. I'm to the side now, and I'm still bringing this back and taking it off. Using that first cut that I made in the crown as my guide and bringing everything to that. Now, once I dry Morgan and then flat iron her and really just check the haircut, I may decide to take a little more out. I mean, it's just such thick hair. You don't get a really good look until you see it dry and move it around and play with it and see where it's heavier, where it needs a little more off. So that's when you really customize it to the client. Now we've got a nice little, very lightweight bob, no heavy hair here. Now I'm going right to this side so you can see this. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm bringing everything back. You can see I have some hair to take off here because this was such a heavy side. Nice sharp razor. You have to use a double-edged blade in here. So what's nice, you don't have to buy special blades. You can buy them at the drugstore, at the grocery store. And then what's nice is once you use one side, you can unscrew the little screw and flip the blade over and use the other side. So you get two good uses out of one blade. Okay, now I'm coming to the front. On the top of her head, I'm still grabbing these sections and pulling them back and to the crown, because that's going to keep the length that we like on that longest side. Same thing, you'll run out as you bring this out because it's not going to reach up there, but that, you know, you have it off then. Working my way, almost finished now. And once I get this last section of her bang done, and I'll dry Morgan, you'll get to see her finished.
Yeah, I do the same song.
This way, and then go into this hair on the side.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like
Because this is great on hair pieces. You can use this on hair extensions. This razor is great for. So, I mean, short hair, curly hair, it doesn't really matter. It's all in how you use it. And I suggest you get a mannequin to practice on, not on your clients. You want to be careful because you just want to just practice it. That's all it takes. Now, we've got lots of weight out. And it's looking really cute on your hair, Morgan, but we're going to stop now. But you can see now with that weight out that it's going to have lots of movement and lots of texture and body in here. So I'm going to stop right now and dry her. When you come back, you'll see me tweak this neckline a little bit more because you'll really be able to tell once I take that and dry it and see it smooth. Be right back. We're back here with Morgan's new look, and you can see all this great texture now after I've dried this hair and flat ironed it and really checked the shape out good here once you see it smooth. I mean, there's so many little wrinkles and wiggles and bends in the hair. It hides so much, tilt your head down a little bit. It hides so many little flaws when you see that hair, unless it's straight. So the straighter it is, I just find you can get, see the shape so much easier. You can see after me taking that, razor and razoring through her weight line and through the top. Then after I dried this hair, I went back with my 7-tooth notchers and did a little bit more tweaking on that weight line. It had just such a solid weight line, and that's a look, but I wanted her softer. It's so thick in here, I think it just moves better when it is more textured and tapered instead of too blunt in the back. Baby fine hair does great like that, but on Morgan's we wanted more weight out of there. So I'm going to show you, I just cleaned up her neckline right there where it was a little ragged. Let me show you the 7-tooth notchers that I used on her. And these are great because they take out bigger chunks, but they're further apart than a regular shear. Hold your head up for me a little bit, Morgan, huh? Because I wanted to show you right in here where I went in just on the weight line and held that vertically and just went in and took out hair just on the weight line. That way it doesn't have such an obvious line. And plus, once you see it dried and smooth, you can just see where it needs it at more. So it just has that subtle where it goes from short to long. This is her longer side. And this is where I need to do a little bit more texturizing on the ends, just so this hair isn't bulky on the very ends. Once you flat iron that hair and take that and get it super straight, you can see you get the bend out of the ends, because to me that's what makes that hair look old-fashioned. You want this to look modern and youthful, so you get these straight piecey ends that just look more modern. Now I've moved and right over the ear there, you can see there's a little bulky spot. You don't want to remove her length, but you just want to go in and take out a little bit more weight. You see all that nice ragged fringy edges that the razor does. Now I'm going to check it one more time right from here. This is how I cut it. When I cut the excess off the top, I'm going to bring this back and just go right into there, because that looked like a little heavy spot. And I'm just using the tip of the scissors. I'm not using the whole shear to take it off. I don't want to leave any lines in there. So going straight across, you don't want to do that. You always want to cut into it or at a vertical, just so you don't see any scissor marks in there. I've probably seen that before, especially in this blonde hair. Now, all of the layers blend now. You don't see any thick or thin spots. Everything has a nice shape to it. And the color came out really pretty on Morgan. Now, what I want to do, I haven't added any pomade or any texture control to her yet, so I do want to do a little bit of that. But I do want to add, let me just show you a little bit more styling here. I'm hitting it with a little bit of texture control. Spray and play. And I'm going to give it just a little more pieciness. I'm going to pull some of these pieces out, straight out, just so you see the layering, because what I want to do next is put a little bit of the pomade on her hair, so the pomade will really make this hair separated, and it'll really show how piecey and jagged her hair is. And after putting the spray on there, it really just pieces some of these hairs and makes that hair not so blended. I want to lift up some of the hair on the top layer and just give a little more texture is all this is doing. Doing little pieces are fun, and just a little messier is what it does. It keeps that hair from looking so perfect. There's nothing good about every little hair in place. We like it undone. You can even pull some of this out. Some of this even kicked up, even shows a little bit more of the length on these ends that really make this hair more modern. So play with your flat iron. I'm just pulling out pieces. It looked great, just smooth. This is just another little way to style this hair and give it a little different look. Now that I've got it like that, we take a little bit of pomade. I've got the Max Wax here. It's our product, and it's a nice wax that you can add just on dry hair. It takes just a little dab of it, and when you put it on the palm of your hands and just put a film of it on your hands, then you can just go back and blot it on here, and then you see all the nice texture, because you don't want it at the root. The roots are good. You want to play up the ends. So when you put that Max Wax in there and just, you see how messy and tousled, and that's when you know you've got a new look. When you see this hair that you see in the magazines, and you know how easy it is to do now, because it's really, all the haircut is what makes the difference in how this hair is cut. You can't add too much of this stuff from Morgan's, because her hair really likes it. But let me show you now that you see this bag, and you can see how much hair she really does have, and how it just loosened up the hair and gave her such just a nice modern look. I really enjoyed doing your hair today.
Thank you.
Morgan, you look so cute. Let's take this cape off. And I'm going to twirl you here so we can see the neckline. Ooh, they got the hair. Oh, but what a nice change. Now you can see what great movement and texture she's got in this hair. And now Morgan's going to be my walking advertisement. People are going to ask her where she got her hair cut, and she's going to send me lots of customers, because it's just so flattering on her. But now you can see what a nice change. And look at this when you tuck this in. You still got lots of hair to play with, and it's just a fun look. It gave her just such a nice modern look. I enjoyed it today. I'm so glad you came.
I love it.
And thanks for watching, everybody. Tune in again.